English language specialist and teacher trainer Megan Calvert. She visited Bahrain to be the main speaker at the 7th English Language Teachers Summer Camp that the U.S. Embassy organized in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. This year's topic is phonological awareness for educators, sound practice for teaching English. The presenter used a vowel color chart (CVC) to help teachers teach the sounds of English. It's a new and creative way to discover sounds for non-native speakers. CVC is a tool that allows teachers and learners to speak easily and accurately the key sounds of English in an efficient and memorable way without the use of phonetic symbols.
So far, it's been great. It seems like the teachers are really interested in it, and some of the teachers have gotten just excited about how they're going to integrate it into their classes. It seems like we've had a really good amount of time to work with the teachers. A lot of the workshops that I do are just 1 day, maybe 2 days, but we've been lucky enough to have 5 days with the teachers. So I think by the end of the 5 days, a lot of them feel really comfortable, at least with the idea and some of the techniques of how to use it. I've been actually really impressed by the teachers' English level. I think that the teachers here have a very high level of English in general. I think that for most of the teachers, what we're learning about pronunciation and the English sound system is still new. I think in general, our field, English language teaching, doesn't do a great job of including pronunciation and talking about sounds in a way that's accessible to learners. So this is something that I think has brought a lot of insight to the teachers, but in terms of just their general English level, I've been really impressed. It's great. A lot of the places I've traveled and worked with teachers, the English level is a little bit lower. I have to kind of modify the way I'm speaking, and here it's been very easy. I think that just my short experience in Bahrain has been that the English teaching is really strong. It seems like kids are learning from a very young age, and by the time they leave school, they're all at a pretty functional level. I mean, for the most part, I don't speak Arabic, so when I'm walking around on the streets, it's very easy to be like, "Excuse me, can you give me directions to somewhere?" Or to just everything has been very easy in that sense. So I'm actually really impressed by the English level here. There is an online version. We actually have a interactive chart where people can go and click on the different sounds and hear what they sound like. There are a lot of online materials. Some of them are available for free. Some of them, if you purchase the Color Vowel Approach book, you can also get access to more materials to download online. But the very basic stuff, if people are interested in learning more about it, they can just go ahead and go to the website and just get an idea of how it works, click on the sounds, and learn more about it. I definitely think that both are useful for different reasons. We've got a lot of print materials. I brought a couple of things with me. Like, for example, some of the things that you can get from the print version are these image cards. So I'll just open these up and show a little bit. And this will give a little bit of a sense of how the color vowel chart works. But the idea is that each each image represents a color and a keyword, and this represents a sound. So the sound in this is green tea E, and so it helps to identify the sounds of words. So these are some nice like flashcards and posters and things like that are just really useful for teachers. But personally, when I'm in the classroom, one of the tools I use a lot is the online interactive chart. I just pull up my projector and use that with the students a lot too. So both are really useful for different reasons. So just a little overview of this is that this is basically the menu of sounds that we have in English. And it is based on American English, so there are some variations between American English and British English, for example, and other varieties of English. But one thing that's really, really interesting to a lot of people is that in many languages, most languages have an average of about 8 vowel sounds, but English has a very complex vowel sound, a vowel system, and so we have about 15 vowel sounds. And that can be really challenging for people when they're coming from a language where this is all one sound about this area, and this is all one sound and about this area, and this is one sound. And so learning to distinguish them and understand that there are very meaningful differences for English speakers can be really valuable and eye-opening. So I'll just give a little example. So for example, if I wanted to teach the word table, I would say table has that A sound, like the color gray, or we can use our keyword gray day. And so if I wanted to teach, let's say sofa, sofa would be O, rose coat, sofa. So where the chart really opens up as an incredible pronunciation teaching tool for me and for the creators of the color vowel chart, Karen Taylor and Shirley Thompson, is really where it turns into an opportunity for learners to focus on stress. Because what's really valuable and what's really important for English language learners is learning to focus on stress the way that English speakers do. So for example, it's not table, it's table. So helping them focus on different sounds. Or information, if you notice that the stress is on that gray sound, you can pronounce the word more effectively. So that's the color vowel chart in a nutshell. And there's a lot more fun activities and great things that you can learn about it online. If I had to pick a method, I'd say immersion is really probably the best way to learn. I'd say immersion coupled with some focused instruction where you can really understand what the correct language sounds like. So I have been very lucky to live overseas a few times. I've lived in Turkey, I've lived in Kyrgyzstan, I've lived in France, and my experience of learning in the country, trying to learn the language there, is just night and day compared to learning it at home, because just the amount of time and the amount of opportunity you have to communicate and use the language is just dramatically different. But you also want to make sure that you're not, sometimes people end up street learners. Street learner is somebody who learns what English sounds like or what the language sounds like, can communicate very easily, but is making a lot of grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes, and things like that. So you've got to balance them. One of my other, pronunciation is a big area of interest for me, but another big area of interest for me is actually teaching with technology. And my experience of these applications has been kind of mixed, actually. I think that some of the applications are doing a great job. One of the applications that I like to use for my own language learning is Busuu. I think that they do something neat where they have a little community and you can communicate with other language speakers. So for example, if I want to learn Arabic, I can go into the Arabic community, and somebody who's trying to learn English, they'll be, typing something in English and getting feedback from English speakers. And in the meantime, they can kind of gain points and things like that by giving me feedback on something, if I post something in Arabic, for example. So I think some of the communities are doing really well. Some of the applications are doing really well. Other applications, I would say, it's amazing. Our field, we used to focus really on grammar translation. This was like where English language teaching was maybe 100 years ago. And it's just, just taking phrases and words and just translating them and just focusing on the grammar and not actually using the language. And for me, a lot of those applications end up just kind of stuck in these very old methods. So there's a lot of value to them because you can get a lot more exposure, but then there's also some downsides too. There are people who are trying to simplify our sound system and make systems that might be accessible for learners, but what we're doing is it's really taking a linguistic chart, taking something that's linguistically very accurate and simplifying it and boiling it down in a way that's very accessible for learners of all ages, kids, high school, college, adults. I've used it with all ages, and I think it's a wonderful tool. I'm very happy that I've had this opportunity to be here in Bahrain and learn a little bit more about the culture, get to know the teachers and the education system. Everyone's been very welcoming, so I just want to say thank you to the Ministry of Education and to the U.S. Embassy, so the U.S. State Department, for bringing me out here and letting me work with the teachers.